You're watching Community Conversations, a Concord TV production.
Hello, this is Community Conversations. I'm Doris Ballard, your host, and this is a program produced by Concord TV. It is also a podcast, and you can watch this on demand on our website, yourconcordtv.org. So we have a great guest again for you. Lots of great stuff going on in their organization. If you've never heard of the Walk a Mile in Her Shoes event, you're going to hear the good work that event produced $55,000 last year for the Crisis Center of Central New Hampshire. So with that, I'd like to introduce Paula Kelley-Wall. She is the Executive Director of the Crisis Center of Central New Hampshire. Welcome, Paula.
Thanks, Doris.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
This is great. I just get so excited by this Walk a Mile in Her Shoes event because how did it all happen? It's a national event, right? It's a national project.
It is. It's really exciting to bring Walk a Mile to Concord. It's really about men's awareness of domestic violence and really the role that men play in helping to end violence against women. So it's a great event. We get, this year we're hoping for almost 500 participants to walk a mile in high heels or whatever shoes you're comfortable with, really just to make a statement that this community cares about ending domestic violence, that the men in our community care about this problem, and we have a lot of fun. So
it sounds like a lot of fun. I've been seeing the shoes all over town, and I don't know who's clever enough to do that, but it really catches your attention.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about you. You're the executive director. How did you get involved in this business of helping women and men with having physical assaults, abuse, rape, violence, domestic violence?
So I got into this work almost 20 years ago as a volunteer on a rape crisis hotline. It's really important to me to do this work, and I've always said I do this work so that my daughter doesn't have to.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So that she is a strong, empowered woman who is now off at college doing great things and came up in this movement with me. You know, she was a baby and I was 20.
So you started volunteering for the Crisis Center.
Yeah, I was 21 when I started volunteering.
Wow. And she was just a little baby,
just a little tiny baby. So I do this so that young women who don't have a voice, older women, people of all genders, feel like they have a champion in this community. And I think all of the staff at the Crisis Center feels that way. We really are the champion for people who are experiencing violence, domestic violence, sexual violence, stalking, elder abuse, you name it. Our staff is really passionate about this work. So I'm really, really fortunate to be part of the Crisis Center.
So your educational background was in social science. And so you just read this little thing on television, local television, cable TV, and you decided to volunteer, and it grew into a career for you.
It did. I was lucky.
Yeah, and a passion.
A passion, absolutely. It spoke to me on so many levels, that just being able to help people who just were having the worst day, and even just getting through the night sometimes is a hard chore. It's a task. And when you can be on the other end of that line and you can help somebody just get through the night, it's really a rewarding experience. Night after night, you know that somebody made it through.
I took some statistics from your website, which is cccnh.org. And there is a crisis line, 24-hour crisis line. I'm going to give that number every now and then. It's 866-841-6229. An estimated 33.4% of women and 24% of men in New Hampshire have experienced a physical assault by an intimate partner. That's amazing. Shocking, actually.
It is. It's staggering when you think about you and probably almost everybody watching knows somebody who's been affected by domestic or sexual violence. They may be in your family, they may be a friend, but we all know somebody. Our crisis line averages over 3,000 hotline calls a year.
Wow.
So we know that folks in our community are getting help. They're getting the services that they need. We serve nearly 1,000 individuals a year. So we're doing our part. We're really trying to get the word out. We encourage people, keep calling, keep seeking services, keep seeking education. You know, we do a lot of community work around just helping people to understand what domestic violence is and what sexual violence is, because especially domestic violence, it's not always physical abuse. There's so many components to what domestic violence is, and physical abuse sometimes is the least of.
Emotional abuse can be extremely traumatizing.
Yes, emotional abuse, financial abuse. There's a lot of coercion. There's a lot of isolation, especially in New Hampshire. So we really work to get the word out that it doesn't have to be physical abuse, but there's so many other forms of domestic violence that are just as traumatizing and just as terrorizing.
You do some outreach to schools, correct?
I do.
Is that something that you see that happens with young men or women in our schools?
Teen dating violence is definitely an issue in New Hampshire and nationally. We are fortunate enough right now to be in the very beginnings of a new prevention program that we're hoping to introduce to Merrimack County schools and the community at large, really, because for us, prevention isn't just about going onto a campus and going, hey students, here's how you prevent sexual violence, or here's how you prevent teen dating violence. It really is a community effort, because if we educate the kids and they go home and they don't have the same support, then it's not going to change the culture. We're not going to move the needle on rape myth and rape culture and domestic violence if we don't bring everybody up. So our goal is really to reach the entire community through this program called Agent of Change and do some good, strong community work for what we're hoping is a long time.
Great. Well, we'll talk a little bit about the shelters. We talk about fundraising efforts.
Sure.
And some of this money is going. If you're just tuning in, this is Community Conversations, a production of Concord Community TV or Concord TV. I'm Doris Ballard, the host, and my guest today is Paula Kelley-Wall. She's the Executive Director of the Crisis Center of Central New Hampshire. cccnh.org, like them on Facebook as well.
Yes.
They're doing some amazing things. And now let's really get into this 4th annual Walk a Mile in Her Shoes event. It's happening on Wednesday, October 4th on Main Street. Rain or shine?
Rain or shine.
Rain or shine. Wow.
Rain or shine.
And the goal this year is $60,000.
It is. It's a pretty aggressive ask, but our community has done amazing things for us. And we are looking at a year where now more than ever, we're doing some huge things at the Crisis Center, and we really need everybody's support to keep our momentum going.
Okay, well, so the old saying, this is off your website too, you can't really understand another person's experience until you've walked a mile in their shoes. So this is how this all came about.
It is.
This national project. And Walk a Mile in Their Shoes asks men to literally walk 1 mile in women's high-heeled shoes. But if you want to participate, you do not have to wear high heels.
You don't.
But it is really amazing to see the number of men and women who decide, I'm going to wear the shoes, high heels, and I'm going to walk the mile.
It is amazing, and the shoes are incredible.
So now it's become about the shoes almost, right?
It is, and really,
the fashion show.
It's a
at the same
fashion
time.
show, and really empowering men to step out of their comfort zone, or as we call it, the man box, and really embrace this work. We gain a lot of partners through this. It's not as fun and as much of a good time as we have with the walk. It's really about building relationships with those community champions, those men in the community that are going to further our mission, keep talking about domestic violence, and that's really what it is. We do a lot with our teams, and they really become passionate about the work of the Crisis Center and support us year after year.
Wow, that's great. Okay, so how does it all work? Someone becomes heads a team?
Someone,
Is that
yep, there. So someone makes a team, and you can join
Mm-hmm.
your friend's team. The CCCNH healers have a team. I know it's
All right.
pretty
So they give a
punny.
name. The way the teams, they go online and register.
Yep, they go online and register.
CCCNH.org. And,
There's
and then they get donations from other people that can be part of their teams.
Yes, yep. Go out and get people to sponsor you to walk that mile, make a donation to you in honor of you or someone that they know who's experienced domestic or sexual violence, just because they want to see you wear the shoes. There are lots of reasons that folks donate to teams.
That's wonderful. All right. Is there a deadline for registering? Because this is happening on October 4th.
October 3rd.
Right up to the last minute.
Right up into the last minute you can register.
What does it cost to register?
So it's $35 to register yourself on a team.
And so then you can wear, your a team shirt, or do people dress up, or is it all about the shoes only?
It's a little bit of everything.
It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. It's really about the spirit of the day.
Right.
We love to watch all of the men who don't think they need to break in those high heels.
Oh my gosh.
Who put them on for the first time that day and try to walk that mile. And we walk along the route, our staff, with duct tape and Band-Aids and
I hope they bring an extra
support.
pair of shoes in case. Right?
Some of them do.
Oh my
Some
gosh.
of them don't.
They're determined to walk
To
the
do
mile.
it.
Gosh,
Yeah.
I've missed it every year, but this year now I'm excited. I want to check it out. Right?
You should.
Right.
It's incredible.
Okay. Main Street on Wednesday, October 4th. So the event schedule at 4:30. Check-in and on-site registration at the State Hout Arches, right?
Yes.
And then at 5:15, opening remarks. Is that something you're going to be doing?
Yeah, we do a little bit of everything, and we have a keynote speaker this year, Tina Smith, and she is going to share a wonderful survivor story. So we're so excited to have Tina as our speaker this year before the walk starts.
It's great. Yeah. And so 5:30 the walk begins, followed by refreshments and team photos. And then 6:15 awards and raffle. So what kind of awards, and what's this raffle about?
So we give awards for the best shoe. We have judges.
There
judges.
we go. Okay, that's the incentive
Yes.
to really
Best
jazz it
shoe,
up.
yeah, we have different heights. So best low heel, best high heel. We have biggest team. We have the largest fundraising team, the largest individual fundraiser. So those are the awards. And the raffle is different every year. This year we're doing a 50-50.
Oh, great.
So buy some tickets. We'll have them there. You'll see people walking around having aprons and tickets.
Well, if you're just tuning in, this is Community Conversations, a program produced by Concord TV, and it's also a podcast. You can listen in from your device if you'd like. And my guest is Paula Kelley-Wall. She's the Executive Director of the Crisis Center of Central New Hampshire. And on October 4th, if you'd like to support the work of the Crisis Center, because October is the National Domestic Violence Month as well.
It is.
And that's why you picked that month, you selected that month to do the walk. If you really want to show off some high heels or go out and have an excuse to buy a nice pair of high heels and dress them all up, you can start up a team, $35 each, and you can raise some money for a really great cause. The goal is $60,000 this year. Tell us what you're able to do with that money that is raised.
So much. Most of what we raise goes directly back to our community. All of the services that we provide are free to all survivors. So we provide 24-hour support on our hotline, accompaniment at hospitals should someone report there if they've been sexually assaulted. We go to court with folks whenever they need help with a restraining order or divorce or parenting. We provide support groups in the community. We provide education in the community. So if you have a business or a school and you want to learn more about domestic violence, we provide all of that for free. So the money really goes back to support programming that goes right back out into our community.
Wonderful. Right. Tell us about the shelter. You do have some beds for people who need to be safe.
We do.
Talk to us about that.
So our emergency shelter is located in Concord. It's in an old house that has 4 shelter bedrooms. So everybody who comes in gets their own room. And when I say 4 shelter bedrooms, it literally is a bedroom in a house. and we can house up to 13 people. So right now we have 7 children and 4 women living in the house. It is a great time. I get to make paper airplanes and play with Play-Doh and play dinosaur. So we love it when the house is full of kids, and it's also hard for us to know that the house is full of kids. So yes, we've had this emergency shelter. It's been part of our operation since 1985. We're coming up on our 40th anniversary.
Wow.
So we're really excited to announce also that our shelter has been chosen as the Building on Hope signature partner for 2018.
That is exciting that you're going to be able to have major renovations as a result.
Major
Right.
renovations.
Well, let's talk about the Building on Hope. I mean, this is an organization that funds projects like yours for facility renovations.
Yes.
And
So they're an all-volunteer organization.
Yeah.
There's no we have a great chair and co-chair, Karen Vanderbeeken and Jonathan Hawley, who organize a group of volunteers. They're not even a formal organization. They're a group of volunteers who really understand the intricacies of nonprofit work and how difficult it is to do some of the things that absolutely require attention, like building renovations. So they solicit applications every other year for a program to have a renovation done, and we were really fortunate enough to be chosen this year. And when I say complete renovation, they are going to be doing everything from the basement to the roof, inside and out. And we're going to be able to double our shelter capacity. So we're going to go from 13 beds to about 24 beds.
24 beds, I saw that,
Yeah.
right. And people can donate to this as well, right? They can go to a GoFundMe page, which is gofundme.com/BOH18-CCCNH. So that's a
Yes.
lot for people to
It
remember.
is a lot for
But can they
people.
go to your website to get that
They
information?
can go to our
or-
website and they can donate directly through our website if they just want to note that it's for Building on Hope.
Okay.
We do have to raise some capital to make some of the renovations happen, but like I said, it's all volunteer. Materials are donated,
Wow.
time is donated, and there are hundreds of volunteers that come in and donate their expertise to get this project done.
So apparently you're going to be able to get some help with the disabled, being able to, that's going to be expanded. You're going to have more beds.
Yes.
So what about the need in the community? I mean, the shelter is 24 beds, doesn't seem, well, right now it's a lot less than
Right.
that.
Now
But
it's
I mean,
13.
so you're going to go to 24 beds. Are there any others in the area that, because I know that there's the National Domestic Violence effort, and so this is just not your CCCNH, right?
Right.
So you're part of a lot of groups that are doing this.
We are, and we're part of the New Hampshire Coalition
Right.
Against Domestic and Sexual Violence. There are 12 other domestic violence shelters in the state that we work with and partner with, because right now in Concord, we're turning away about 300 women and children a year
Oh my gosh.
from emergency shelter. So we're really looking to reduce that number, get more folks the support that they need in housing, and get them into safe and supportive housing once their shelter stay is complete, once they feel like they're ready to go. So we have a lot of work to do.
I imagine that once they're there, you have to find ways to help them get out of their situation. That can't be easy in most cases.
It's not easy, and our goal is not to convince everybody that they have to leave.
Right.
Our goal is to help people understand how they can be safe, and safety looks different for everybody.
That's interesting.
Yeah, sometimes people are safe going back, and that safety may only be short-lived, but if that's where they're at, then we support them and help them figure out ways to be safe in their home. So that's our job. Is we aren't going to determine what's best for anybody, but we can offer guidance and support and tools and resources to make sure that people are as safe as they feel they can be.
Great. If you're just tuning in, this is Community Conversations. I'm Doris Ballard, your host, and this is a Concord TV production and also a podcast. And my guest is Paula Kelley-Wall. She's the executive director of the Crisis Center of Central New Hampshire. And I'm going to give you go like them on Facebook as well, you can tell more about what's happening. And cccnh.org. And the crisis line is 24 hours and 7 days a week.
7 days a week.
866-841-6229. Now I want to go into this last event that you're having, which sounds like a lot of fun, and raising some money for your organization. That is probably right up my alley, because I don't wear high heels. So I mean, that's like cocktails for a cause.
Yes, cocktails for a cause.
So what is that all about?
So we have this great time at the Crisis Center. We do really hard work and recognize that we have to reach a lot of people in a lot of different ways. And there is this really pervasive myth out in society at large that alcohol causes domestic violence. And I'm here to say that alcohol does not cause domestic violence. If someone's going to be violent, they're going to be violent whether or not they're drinking.
Exactly. Right.
Alcohol is an excuse for domestic violence. And so Karen and I, one day in having dinner, probably, because that's what we do. Karen and I are ladies who lunch and dinner.
Oh, that's exactly what I love to do.
We're talking about ways that we could really be creative and reach more people. And so we came up with this cocktails idea literally overnight. And Karen has some great connects in the community. She's my development director, Karen McNamara. And we got it going, I think, in a week.
Wow.
And we had 4 bars last year participated. This year we have 5. And it really is about the restaurants getting involved in our work and understanding. We meet with their staff and they talk about domestic violence, and they spread the word to their customers and their clients about what domestic violence is and how they can support the Crisis Center. And this year, what we found was the day after we distributed the materials for the Cocktail for a Cause, we got a hotline call from someone who saw the poster in a bar.
Really?
And needed help in court because her boyfriend had assaulted her that night.
Oh my gosh.
And had she not seen it in the bar, she might not have known we existed.
So the more you are out there, spreading the awareness and talking to people, the more you might have an impact on someone in a positive way.
Yes. So get out to the bars.
Get out. There's Cheers, the Barley House, O Steak, Litherman's Limited Brewery,
Yes.
and the Granite Bar.
Yes.
And they all have their own drink, and people can go try them, and the judges vote on creativity, taste, appearance, and knowledge. Oh, knowledge of CCCNH. Very smart,
yes.
Karen.
Karen was amazing
smart.
in creating that criteria.
Very smart.
Yeah.
So they can just fill out this little form, and last year you raised for the first year $1,000.
Yeah.
And a lot of
awareness.
Awareness.
And that's what it's about.
Right.
It's about awareness for us.
All right. Well, in the time that we have left, I'm sure that, can you share a positive, hopeful story with us?
Oh, there are so many.
I know. There's some on your website, too.
There are.
But if you could share one
There
with
are.
us, that would be
So
wonderful.
last year we had the honor and privilege of working with the survivor who was really in a tough place. Her partner had basically kicked her out of the house and had always controlled the finances, and she didn't really know what to do. So she contacted her private attorney, who contacted us, and she had resources, she had ability, she had everything she needed, but she had a few barriers, and one of those was she needed her nursing license fee paid to be an LNA, and that was preventing her from getting a job.
Really?
That could really set her and her child up in an apartment, and that fee was $35. So the Crisis Center paid that fee, she got her license, and then we helped her set up sponsored childcare through the Boys and Girls Club.
Wow.
So she didn't have to worry about paying for childcare while she was working. So we were really happy to see that she was so successful in such a short amount of time, and helping her to identify and eliminate those barriers was incredible. It was incredible to see her grow. It's amazing what $35 can do.
Wow. But it can seem insurmountable to someone
Right.
who's just having an issue with being kept away from the financial
Yes.
part of that relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Volunteering, the couple minutes we have left, how can people help besides, of course, donations?
Yeah.
Go to the website, cccnh.org, make a donation.
And sign up to volunteer. We do 4 volunteer trainings a year. It's a 30-hour training. We can always use volunteers to answer the hotline or come into the office and help us with data work or volunteering at WHAM, our special events. We can always use volunteers for things like that.
And they don't have to wear high heels.
They
either.
don't
No,
have to wear high heels.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Of course.
Paula, Kelley-Wall, Executive Director of Crisis Center of Central New Hampshire. Thank you. Come anytime. Best of luck with your October 4th. Yes, Wednesday, October 4th on Main Street. Go watch or be a part of it. Their 4th annual Walk a Mile in Her Shoes event.
Yes.
Check it out on their website and on their Facebook page. And then go over to the Cocktails for a Cause.
Have a drink.
Have a drink and vote and help and talk about the Crisis Center and the good work that they do. And just thank you for all that you do, all that your staff does, and on behalf of, those who need it most in cases of domestic violence, et cetera. So, last word?
It's our privilege and honor to do this work for everybody.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in. I'm Doris Ballard, Executive Director of Concord Community TV, and you can do something like this right here. Have your own show on Concord TV. Just go to yourconcordtv.org. And if you're a nonprofit, feel free to contact me, Doris, at yourconcordtv.org to be on this program. Or if you have an interesting story, you can be on the program. So thank you very much. Thank you, Paula.
Thank
and
you.
Thank you to Karen for connecting us. This is great. All right.
Thank you.
Bye now.
You're watching Community Conversations, a Concord TV production.